Justin Barcia gets disqualified at Budds Creek. Got some things to say about this. I'm incredibly surprised that Justin Barcia got disqualified from Moto2 because up until this point, basically all year long, he's had such lackluster punishment. And if you're going to do the crime, you should do the time. And he's gotten away with a lot of stuff. Granted, if you take what he's done in Supercross, he should have been disqualified for the entire event. But motocross and Supercross are different entities. You've got Feld Motorsports and MX Sports. So there, I'm super surprised that MX Sports took the stand to just take him out of Moto2 because he ended up taking out Dylan Ferrandis and he ended up getting 36th that last moto because he ended up pulling all out of the race and made no points whatsoever. This is the defending champ. You know, there's just no respect there whatsoever. So let's back up and see what infractions Barcia's had for this year. Well, round one, if you remember, he took out Jason Anderson and they made amends. There was really, a warning is what it was. And so then at San Diego, what happens at San Diego? He takes out Justin Bogle and receives a written 6-month probation, which you think, okay, you got a warning. Now you're on probation. One more thing, you're out of the series, right? No, did not happen. Because then in Indy, what does he go ahead and do? He takes out Anderson yet again, right? Boom. And what is the infraction there? The infraction is loss of 3 championship points and a $3,000 fine. I believe he still ended up on the podium, and so a $3,000 fine is pennies. And it's a little bit more than pennies. It's a dollars because, the bonuses for these contracts from probably gas is probably 25 to 75 grand, for a podium, right? But no, that doesn't hurt Barcia whatsoever because it's a slap on the wrist. The check still clears. So what does he go ahead and do? And come the last round in San Diego, well, he just T-bones. We've got Malcolm here, and Malcolm wasn't able to race the outdoors because he was getting surgery on his knee. Maybe was it this? Who knows? There's some speculation there. But his fine was loss of 10 championship points and then another diddly fine. So he still got to keep the podium and the bonus money, and it sucks, right? So Dylan Ferrandis, I quote, he says, Budds Creek Moto2, I got T-boned by Barcia. Pretty normal from him. This time he went off track in the previous corner where I passed him. Okay, so he can't, in this situation, couldn't pass him back, and so just ran right into him. And gained time off track and went straight into me and made me crash. At that point, I don't really care about that, but I just wonder how his team, sponsors, family, friends, trainer, fans can support that. Dylan, it goes beyond that, right? There is no punishment involved, so it's the same thing. If you get away with something, you're going to do it again, right? There's that saying that it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, and he's had permission this entire year to do this. If he was disqualified and got kicked out of Supercross because of his 6-month probation, I guarantee you wouldn't be riding like this in motocross because he's got to provide for his family and he's got to have a check. And therefore, to cut a check, you have to race the damn motorcycle. You have to be in the event, right? So again, power to MX Sports for docking him out of the moto. Let's hope Supercross and Feld can do something to help keep these riders safe. Okay, I digress. Yeah, he got disqualified, but he will do it again next weekend in every other race, and nothing will change. Nothing will change. No sportsmanship and bad image for our sport. Like, come on, guys. Seriously. Feld, if you're listening, you need to keep the riders in check to prevent them from hurting each other. These guys ride too hard and too fast, and they ride a little bit over their head at time because they can push the motorcycle past what it's meant to do, and therefore it's incredibly dangerous, and their careers are short, and you need to be able to help prolong their careers by keeping it as safe as possible. Yes, it's a dangerous sport. That's why we all love it, right? The adrenaline pumping, blah, 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 the serotonin and dopamine release, the getting in the zone, right? So you need to make sure that the riders feel safe and they feel that they can race safely with each other. If you don't do this, the riders are going to push back. And then watch, the sport's then going to penalize them for pushing back against a rider that has taken them out several times, etc. There's a reason why Barcia's got its nickname Bam Bam, right? It's a good nickname and yada, yada, yada. However, there's a time and a place for it, okay? And, even 10th to 5th place, is that really the place for it? Because you're not really making that much more money between that and the podium. But I digress, because it still doesn't do justice to do that even for a podium position. I will end with saying, again, I know I talk very critical about the sport at times, but I am impressed that MX Sports took action and made this apparent that, hey, we cannot stand for this. Taking away the points and disqualifying is probably the best thing you can do, besides saying, hey, you cannot race the next weekend. We will see if the penalty report comes out and see if there's any other infractions involved. MX Sports does take a little while. They take like a week to get the penalty report out, which is silly. But we'll see if anything else happens with that. I hope Jeremy Albrecht, who's the race director for Supercross, can learn from what MX Sports is doing and say, hey, we will not stand for over-aggressive riding. There's a time and a place for it, yes, but when a rider gets a warning, a probation, then a fine, and then, does it again, this is the 5th infraction this year for a rider. Yeah, you can, one in there, rubbing is racing. We can all agree. 5 times, it's giveaway time for the month of September. I'm giving away a signed jersey to one of my Patreon supporters. You get 1 entry if you're a privateer. You get 2 entries if you're a factory. Thanks, guys. Boom.